Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all doing? It is Tuesday, March 15th, the Ides of March, the day that Julius Caesar was killed, in case you were wondering. Kind of an ominous day in Shakespeare land. But otherwise, I think it's going to be a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad you're here. Audio visual check, please. Good morning, Fat N, Roger, Greg. Yup, Roger, Pavel, Topher, Hotel Real, Matthew, hi. Hey, Chuck, thank you. Thank you. I'm jumping on just a couple minutes early today. Dan will be live with the open house at 9 a.m. Eastern. And all that means is every morning we get an hour and a half of live streaming, 30 minutes before the market opens and an hour after the market opens, answering our requests, listening to Dan and his trade ideas, and it's just beautiful. It starts my day off right, and I typically get some decent trades out of it. Well, we're opening that up to the public today. Our goal is opening up to the public once a day so you can see what our community is about, our wonderful community. We have PPI due out, just FYI. This is what I mean by community. We have all of these wonderful channels, different interests. We have uranium, we have options, crypto, Canadian stocks, marijuana stocks, you name it, commodities. And so that's what our community does. And Dan's going to give you a taste of it via live streaming free at 9 a.m. Eastern. It is party time, Tom. Let's get it started. Yep, Matthew, AG. I'm not going to pull it up, but this is how much I study. I think it's 1232. Let's go look at it. Is the daily EQ support, and we're testing it because I saw it this morning. Yep, there it is, 1232. I've got too much data in my brain, I must admit, and it is clogging up the plumbing in my brain. So 1232, we're testing it right now. We're at 1243. So you want to know the value of a community? Why did I know 1232? Because I posted it this morning at 5:45 a.m. my time. Daily support approaching. We're in EQ. So commodities are really getting the beat down this morning, so we can't be overly optimistic. Yes, we're in a daily uptrend, but as long as we hold 1232, that could be a play, Matthew. Good morning, Wave and Mary, Denise, Night Truck, Jessica, and Cordelaine. Hello. Dino. Yeah, you like that too? Awesome. Let's look at silver. We would be remiss at looking at a miner name without looking at the metal that it is correlated to. I can't say 1-to-1, but it's definitely correlated to. So we're looking for a daily high or low in silver, and typically a good place to look for that is hourly oversold. We're even 4-hour oversold. So can these commodity bounces get going, or are they waiting for the FOMC tomorrow? These hourly quick EMAs, I don't care if you use 12, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever you use. Let's just call it a quick EMA, which is the shortest EMAs that you monitor. It is just suppressing price. In my case, it's the 8 EMA. Bulls are not getting over it. So the AG bounce will have a hard time getting going without a trend change. On the hourly, see on the 15-minute, we just spiked up and down. That's another hourly potential bear flag, bull break with very little follow through. And the format of the pre-market show is I go over the Fab 4 indices, commodities, cryptos, movers, and shakers of the day, and I try to get you ready for the day. I will be ending promptly today, very promptly, so Dan can get his stream started so he can start the open house. So I may not have time at the end toward the end for requests. We'll see. If you have a request now, I can go over it. Hey, Jay Stevens, Montana. I love Montana, one of my second favorite states. How do you get your dad to sell his JD stock? I don't know, Jessica. That is a sad chart. So it is my opinion, I'm going to be pretty contrarian today. My opinion that bounces could get started sooner than later on these charts, but the chart's giving us no reason to get in except for potential max capitulation and vol climax. Your next support on the monthly chart is down at 3270. Daily RSI 21. So your support now is 4073 and 4055. So look at JD compared to other names. So we can look at other names and say, oh, they're holding the low of yesterday. Well, JD is not even doing that. We're at lows. Hang Seng got whacked overnight. Hang Seng is currently down 5.72%. So these Chinese names, I think we're going to get a bounce opportunity today. And I think, of course, the bears will get more opportunity as always. The stock market is an equal opportunity dream destroyer. It likes to destroy the bull's dreams and the bear's dreams. That's why we don't trade on dreams. We trade on evidence-based technical analysis. Yep, platinum. So I covered all of the commodities this morning in commodities channel. Platinum got the daily lower low. And this is what I was looking at as a potential broadening formation if we can hold in this area. But remember, this is super early. We don't have the requisite amount of touches on the bottom line to be a valid trend line. But this is very weak for it to go straight to a daily lower low from a higher high. You typically see that higher low, lower high, higher low. But we're not seeing that. Your next support is 1004. 1004 is the last holdout for these platinum bulls to have hope. The hourly EMA is totally suppressing price. Just no hope of any type of bounce here. Good morning. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Yeah, Rio getting smoked. Part of the metals miners. It had that huge dividend last week. Gap down yesterday. 68.95 was your low, and we're gapping down below that. Your next support is at 66.42. 66.42. On that daily chart, hourly looks like a bear flag. Resistance 70.18. All psychological levels matter. So 1,000, 2,000, they matter. So on platinum, the $1,000 psychological level, yeah, it matters. But it only matters if price stops. If price cuts straight through it, then it didn't matter. So every scenario, we can just look for a potential pause in that area, but take no action if it doesn't pause. You're welcome. Hey, Z, I love you more. Hey, Amaka. At what age do you become a profitable trader, Zia? I know you're asking that probably relative to years of experience and not actual age. So I would say at 4 to 5 years, you should at least be making a small profit. And the key to staying in trading is those first 4 to 5 years where you're not profitable is keeping your losses as small as possible. And I know that sounds like Captain Obvious, but it's true. You don't want to be paying $300,000 to $400,000 in tuition. Most people can't even afford to pay that type of tuition, racking up those losses while learning. So I'm watching oil bounce. Oil bounce is getting a little bit more mature. Okay. Good morning. He loves pizza. Me too. Yeah, Matthew, it's a journey, and the years are different. If you're spending 4 to 5 years learning to trade with a full-time job, that does not look like the same thing as a person trading full-time 4 to 5 years. They're completely different because you have limited amount of time devoted to it. So I cannot tell you that there's any replacement for hours. And I know that's disheartening for some, but I just don't see the scenario where you can replace any type of YouTube video with actual hours of looking at charts, because so many of these patterns jump out after you've looked at them for thousands of hours. Oh, I've seen this before. And it literally in your head, you're like, oh, I've seen this movie before. I've seen it. Look at oil. We're going to scare everybody out of oil. We're just going to drive it down and then get a little oversold bounce going. When we get that max capitulation, we get that separation from that quick EMA, a little waterfall drop, and then boom, a little bounce. And you're like, oh, I've seen this movie before. Price is separated from the 8 EMA. We've got the 8 and 21 with these big holes and air pockets in between. That shows a true waterfall. I've seen this movie before. I'm going to jump in long, and I went in long this morning. 94.43 was that key level we were looking for at from the daily. Your next support, 87.46. Pavel, you can... I'm sure investing.com has it. I can't go to it like right now, but investing.com does have a lot of data. I'm sure it's on there. I look on Thinkorswim, my broker, and I can just type in NASDAQ and look at the top, and it'll show me the volume. Isn't that the truth, MG? I equate it with like being a golf pro. You could sit there and tell someone, you could study golf, which I've watched many YouTube videos on it, and I study it. Okay, just move your hips. Don't move your head. All the different things. Don't sway back and forth. Keep your head down. but there's no replacement for actually swinging a golf club. I can be intellectually know exactly what I need to do, but until I go swing the golf club, there's no replacement for that. And I acknowledge that hugely, bigly. That's correct, Wave. It sure is fun to learn, ain't it? Oh, well, let's get started. My goodness. I'm sitting here chit-chatting with y'all. It's 6:31. Let's get this show on the road. Hey, I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. If you want to check us out, we're at chartguys.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Chart Gal Lori, and I've got some interesting news. I will be doing some Friday spaces, it looks like, Twitter spaces with Sarah Strat Slayer. I'm looking forward to that. All-female panel of traders, and we will go over our specific experience, go over the markets live. It's going to be a ton of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Here's the news of the morning. Sorry for the bright white screen. Hang Seng is down 5.72%. Germany is backing off. It was down about 2% a couple of hours ago, and now it's down less than 1%. Market's getting this little healthy bounce going, which is good for the market. So definitely want to call attention to the world markets. As always, I have my notes. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation. Here is the explanation of when I say QOTM or Queen of the Mountain. What do I mean? They're just pretty strong conviction setups for me personally, that based on my thousands of hours of experience. Ninjas only means it's most likely a difficult or volatile setup, and it's not for beginners. And I must say, this environment in general is not favorable for beginners. It's not favorable for the modestly profitable trader. It's a tough environment. So I just think embracing that and not fighting the environment is part of the self-control that you must have, and just move to a simulated environment. I think Tradeovate, I got an email this morning. I'm a Tradeovate user for futures, but you can use the simulator environment without an account, I believe. I'm not sure, but check that out. Toss has a paper trading account. Paper trading will not fix your emotional issues around money and self-sabotage for the most part, but they will fix any technical analysis deficits that you may have. So it's okay, and there's no shame in switching to paper trading during this tough environment if you are struggling. So this morning I was noting DAX was down 2%, then DAX led this bounce by 5 minutes. Let me show you what I mean. There we go, ES. Okay, so they must have liked whatever the PPI numbers were. So let's look at DAX on the 5 minute. So DAX bounce started here at 310. I believe this is what I was looking at. And NASDAQ started bounce at 320. Do you see this? So when I hover over this candle, look down here at the time and date. You ready? 320 is when NASDAQ bounced. DAX bounced at 310. So we have the European markets leading us by the nose for a bit. I'm not saying that that will stay, because of course they will close before our markets will close. But something to note, when I see a strong correlation, and I've been banging the table on these European and Asian market correlations for a couple weeks now. And as long as that remains the case, remember a month and a half ago, I was saying, look at Bitcoin leading us by the nose. But I saw DAX this morning bounce, and I went and bought NASDAQ. It's just working too good right now to just walk away from that correlation. So definitely going to acknowledge that. And as you can see, Hang Seng, it could be a little 30-minute bear flag forming now. We got a 5-minute higher high, and then a lower high, and we're getting no follow through, getting suppressed by 21 EMA. China names are really getting beat up, and that is from the getting hit hard on COVID concerns. And I am looking for blue light specials. I like things on sale. My mom taught me to coupon when I was little, and we chased the blue lights in Kmart. However, no trophies are given for nailing the bottom. Yes. Okay, we just got that 4-hour higher high. Now, the 4-hour higher high doesn't mean as much without trend changes. Same thing with hourly. Because look at what this could be. It's negating that. So we're coming right off the bottom, basically with this ES, right off the bottom on hourly, on 4-hour. And what's the most important thing? Rally to the Cows come home, but you need an hourly higher low and trend change in order to make a bigger difference. So those trend changes is what I will be holding bated breath, waiting for these hourly trend changes to mean that the temporary bottom, and notice I say temporary bottom, is in. 4 hour higher high, hourly higher high. Now give me that higher low, and give me that higher low on lower consolidation. So when the bear volume does start to kick in, I want it to be a little bit lower. RTY, same thing. RTY was looking a little weaker this morning. I would call this a 4 hour double top, an hourly double top at the moment with 1951 and 1953. Definitely been a little bit weaker, but give us the hourly and 4 hour trend changes. Okay. Sorry, I am looking at my trade abate and I don't understand why my P&L is showing the way it is. Okay, I'll have to figure this out. All right, back to the charts. YM, same thing, hourly and 4 hour bull breaks. We don't want to see these tiny bull breaks with very little follow through, because then we'll be looking for broadening formation. So definitely keep your mind open as to what is going on over here. Are these broadening formations, or are these hourly higher highs with meaning? We're running into the hourly 50 MA on YM. On RTY, we're pretty far away, showing that RTY is weaker. ES, we're pretty far away, and NASDAQ, we're pretty far away. So definitely YM is the strongest this morning, and YM being the strongest makes us go look straight at XLF and say, okay, does that mean XLF? Is XLF going to be stronger today? Because I see that YM is stronger. So we'll be looking at that. Your overnight support, 32578. So on ES, your overnight support, 412950. Let me go back to my notes. Now, all of these notes change because we broke the hourly and 4 hour higher highs. Now, trend change is what's most important, or those trend change. And YM, again, is a little bit stronger. And I also noted that YM is holding that March 8th low. Most of our Fab 4 futures can't say that. So here's the Ukraine invasion right here at March 24th. Whoops. We bounced, set a higher low at March 8th. Okay, we held that low. ES broke this low. Now we could use our creative judgment or our creative license and say, you know what, it was only by $9. That's a double bottom. All right, but it still broke it. YM didn't. RTY broke it. NASDAQ broke it. NASDAQ broke the March 8th low and the Ukraine invasion low. So definitely NASDAQ is the weakest, but these are tiny bear breaks without a lot of follow through. So now, bulls, show me what you got. Show me what you're working with. Hourly trend changes are the most important. Yeah, hit that like button. I forget to ask about that. Please hit that like button. I work kind of hard for y'all. Oh, you can really see this potential broadening formation here forming. We don't have the requisite touches, but it's something that we're just going to watch here, getting tiny higher highs without follow through, tiny lower lows without follow through. It's one of the questions I get asked the most is, oh, is this broadening formation, which looks like a cheerleader megaphone? Just imagine a little cheerleader standing here with a megaphone. Is it bullish or bearish? Neither. If it's at the bottom of a downtrend and we get a little bit bear exhaustion near the bottom and set a higher low here, then I can make a case that it could possibly be the end of a reversal pattern. But there is no bullish, bearish, reversal, continuation pattern for broadening formations. We just need to know when they're happening. So when we get those tiny lower lows without follow through, they can be nice buying opportunities. And that's all I use them for. That's it. Not for, oh, now I have direction. No, now I don't have direction. Okay. Now, US 10-year. US 10-year was the fly in the ointment yesterday for QQQ bulls because it just kept raging. Look at this. Now, I'm not an economic macroeconomist. I think Powell's job would be one of the worst jobs behind being a gastroenterologist. I think, or a rectologist. That would be one of the worst jobs, is being a macroeconomist. Like, ugh. So, understanding that I have very limited knowledge in this space, what I do know, and I shared the article yesterday for TCGers, is that the US 10-year, as long as it is really churning, that brings on the possibility of interest rate hikes and higher interest rate hikes at a higher frequency brings them into the picture. And that's a headwind for technology stocks who have the largest valuation, largest debt. When you're using discounted cash flows, it really hits them. So now earnings, they have to make earnings even higher. They have to really beat on earnings. Man, my vocabulary just sucks. Is it because of the time of day or that I'm from Louisiana? I don't know. Doing my best here. But US 10-year, I like that hourly lower high was set. And now what the tech bulls want to see is red rover, roll over. Okay, VIX. So the VIX, this is what I'm watching. So the market bulls do not want this to be an inverse head and shoulders. They don't want it to be an inverse head and shoulders. We've hit our 4-hour lower high most likely. Oh, and we just hit an hourly lower low, which is why the market is bouncing. So we need VIX to roll over along with US 10-year. Then XLF, I wanted to look at that. XLF looks fine. They're just chilling. These bulls are chilling. So NQ names are down here this morning, and XLF, higher high, got a double top yesterday, essentially within 2 pennies, and then pulled back. 4-hour EQ, no big deal. So that is why YM is holding up better than the rest because of the financial sector. All right. I have to figure out what is going on. I guess that's it. Okay, sorry. I bought the dip on oil and on NQ, and I'm showing I'm slightly red, and it makes no sense. So I must have had a short kick in, but I have my fail safes in there, so hopefully they'll get me triggered out of what I need to get triggered out of, or I'll see it out the corner of my eye. But right now it looks okay. I know y'all were wondering that. Okay, go back to the notes so I stay organized. Okay, VIX 4-hour lower high most likely set, and we just lost that hourly uptrend. US 10-year is bouncing now. 4-hour lower high most likely, and that would help the tech stocks. Bitcoin 4-hour lower high most likely, room for a 4-hour higher low. Ethereum is slightly weaker than Bitcoin. Let's look at it and see if that changed from 2 hours ago. No, it hasn't. This is weaker than the market. Look at that. On the hourly, we cannot break to a higher high over 986. We hit 958. So definitely weaker than the markets, but we're not rolling over, and we have plenty of room for a higher low. Ethereum, and you can just see the size of this retracement. Let me give you the actual math. We bounced about 70% on Ethereum. And on Bitcoin, almost 99%. So Ethereum is definitely weaker, but regardless that Ethereum is weaker, it has enough room for a higher low. Gold. Okay, gold. I covered commodities this morning, so this is a little bit busy, so excuse me. Platinum is the standout bear in the metal space with a daily lower low. Is PL a canary for the commodities market? Gold was trying to make a 15-minute trend change, but still looked like an hourly bear flag. And I made the joke, I'm looking everywhere for the bulls. Are they under couch cushions? Like I'm shaking the couch cushions. I'm trying to find bulls everywhere in commodity space. And I think I just found them in oil, and that's about it. It looks like commodities are just the hurry up and wait phase, waiting for FOMC direction. We've got API estimates after hours today at 4:30 Eastern for oil. Don't forget, we have oil inventory tomorrow at 10:30 and Nat Gas inventory Thursday at 10:30. Gold is definitely not shooting its shot here. So with Dixie weakness, what is going on with oil? I mean, with gold strength, like Bueller. No, what is it? McFly? Oh, my dog just barked when I knocked on the thing. Like McFly, is anyone home? We can't even get a 15-minute trend change with gold. Good job, sister, protecting the house. There you go. Okay, oil. Oil got that 15-minute trend change, and now bears will be waiting here at the hourly EMAs because hourly EMAs have been suppressing price. Remind me to not knock the table again when my dog is nearby. Okay, let's look at Nat Gas. Oil's very comparable to gold. It just complete bull apathy. However, we are getting a little bit of a dead cat bounce this morning. So let's see if the oil bulls can keep this bounce going. Nat Gas weekly inside bar lows continue to get tested by the bears. Potential daily head and shoulder in play. Let's go look at it. One thing that was standing out to me a little bit, let's see, did they break it? No, is Nat Gas was at least holding this low. 4506, where the other commodities were not. Okay. So I said everything I needed to say about commodities. Now let's go Queen of the Mountains setups. And I had a question for you today. What are your bumper guards? What are your fail-safe guards on your, are they on your platform? Are they in the form of rules and a trading plan? Is it in the form of I must phone a friend if I'm going to go over my daily max loss? On Tradeovate and lots of platforms, you can say, I want my max daily loss to be $100, and it will shut you down for that day. So what are your safeguards that are in place to help your risk management? In my opinion, and I'm going to share something in this vein, I didn't think of it till right then. I'm going to share something someone shared yesterday in our community, and I loved it. Journey of a trader. A lot of things to learn before seeing results. Start, of course, beginner's luck, and that happened to me, and then boom, losses. Learning and improvement, better risk management, and then you follow a trading plan. That's what comes on the tail end of actually becoming a consistently profitable trader. So speaking of better risk management, what are your risk management rules? What is it? Do you have cognitive behavioral therapy tricks where you say, okay, I will ask myself a question before I enter a trade. Does it meet all of my technical criteria, which are listed as A, B, C, D? And they must all be congruent, and it must be a yes before I can enter. What are your fail safes? Do you have criteria for a trade? What is protecting you? Okay, that is my alarm to shut down the stream in 3 minutes. So I'm going to just read these to you real quickly. And TCGers, you'll get these notes in the room, don't worry. But my Queen of the Mountain setups are Apple. Bearish news. Oh, no, I didn't change that. Forget that. That was the one I didn't change. So on Apple, I'm watching this 150. 149.43 and then 147.48. If Apple can hold that, here is the big hurdle. Literally, I want to see Apple bulls jump over it. That daily 200 MA. Look how long the daily 200 MA has been bull support. We barely dipped below it in COVID 2 years ago. So the daily MA, 200 MA we lost yesterday. Bulls are going to want to see the bulls jump over that quickly to stay in control. Otherwise, bears are going to continue to take over. And I don't give y'all a lot of bear setups because there's not a lot of runway left. I found one bear setup that had some runway left, and it was Hood. Hood has a potential 4-hour bear flag with top fish setup. So if you're interested in that, in a bear play, I would look at Hood. Otherwise, Baba and Neo are going to be opportunities in both directions, extremely oversold, very volatile. eBay got a price target initiation. I'm only interested if 49.50 can hold. And if you're not a TCG member, just take a screenshot of these notes if you want to go back and say, what did she say? Good RX has an amazing potential oversold bounce, but it's the highest. Let's look at it. It is the highest risk out there in that it's a black dirt breakdown. Look at this Michigas. It's an absolute mess. But they got to upgrade this morning. Much higher, I think about 100% higher than current price target, current price. So if we can hold yesterday's low, 1344, I like this for a potential long for a dead cat bounce. Lulu, only interested long if 283 can hold. MOS, that fertilizer bull name, scouting that daily higher low, got to upgrade. Looking for an hourly trend change is step one, and it's super close. And then finally, Zoom is another really beat up name. Weekly up, it got to upgrade. Weekly RSI 15 needs to hold 94.51. So these are my key levels it must hold if you want to take a screenshot of it. I'm going to wrap this on up. I love you so much. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notify button, and go follow my Twitter page. I will be tweeting out Dan's link for open house in just a few minutes. So Chartgal Lori on Twitter, chartguys.com is our website, and you can also check out Dan on Twitter @ChartGuys, and he will be tweeting out the link as well. All right, thank you for joining me, and use stop losses.